Okay, looking at our 4.3 notes, we're going to be working with standard form, which we worked with already. So at the top of your notes, I suggest you write AX plus BY equals C. That is our standard form. For numbers 1 through 3, they want us to write two equations in standard form that are equivalent to the given equation. And if you look at 1 through 3, they're already in AX plus BY equals C form. So for the first one, what I'm going to do is double or multiply times 2 all the terms in the equation. So my first example for number 1, I'm going to do 2x minus 2y equals 8. And again, I just doubled it. And then to give another form equivalent to it, I can triple it, I can multiply it times 4, I can take half of it. But just to keep it simple, I'm going to multiply it times 3. So the second equation that is equivalent to the given one is 3x minus 3y equals 12. Okay, looking at number 2, I've got 3x plus y equals negative 12. If I double it, then I'm going to have 6x plus 2y equals negative 24. And again, you can use your calculator if you need to do the math. I'm going to triple it for the second time, so each term gets multiplied times 3. So I have 9x plus 3y equals negative 36. Now for these examples, if you want to do some different examples for me that you're multiplying or dividing by the same thing, then I encourage you to do that. For our last example, again, I'm going to double what I have. So I have negative 8x minus 4y equals 12. And then for my second example, I'm going to triple it. So I have negative 12x minus 6y equals 18. And again, if you need to write yourself a note to the side, you can put times 2 here, and she did times 3 here, but that's completely up to you. All right, looking at exercises 7 through 9, it wants us to write an equation in standard form of the line that passes through the given point and has the given slope. Okay, for me, and the examples may be different in the book. I'm not looking in the book at the moment. But what I'm going to do is take and write it in slope-intercept form first, which is y equals mx plus b. And for the first example, they gave us the m and they gave us the b, so I'm just going to rewrite it. So I've got y equals 2/3 x minus 9. And to go from slope-intercept to standard form, you just need to have the x on the left-hand side. So you need to have mx on the left. So that means I need to take away 2/3 x from this side, and whatever I do to one side, the golden rule says I have to do to the other. So your final answer for this one is negative 2/3 x plus y equals negative 9. So that's how you put or take points in a slope and change it from slope-intercept to standard form. So what I'd like you to do now is pause the video and try to do number 8 and 9 and then compare your notes with me. Alright, number 8. We're given the slope and a point, but it's the x-intercept, it's not the y-intercept. So I'm going to use point slope form for this one so that I can find b and go ahead and have it in slope-intercept. So I'm going to do y minus y sub 1. And if you'll notice, I'm using different formulas. You just got to have them understood. You don't have to have them memorized because they're on the formula chart, but you need to have them understood so you know which ones to pick and use. Okay, so I've got x sub 1, y sub 1. So I'm going to do y minus 0 equals negative 1 times x minus 4. If I use the distributive property, Then I'm going to have y equals a negative times a positive is a negative, and then a negative times a negative is a positive. So right now I have it in slope-intercept form, but I need to write it in standard form. The x needs to be on the left, so I'm going to add x to both sides. Sorry. So my final answer for this one's going to be x plus y equals 4. And there's our standard form answer for number 8. Number 9, let's see. We got the same situation. I don't know my y-intercept, but I do have a point and a slope. So I am going to start off with point-slope form. And I always encourage everyone to write the formulas out. It just helps when you start substituting it back in. So I've got y minus, and if you need to mark them, mark them. So I've got y minus a negative 15, which is going to change it to a positive. I've got negative 3/5 times x minus a negative 10, so that's going to make it a positive 10 since I'm running out of room. So I've got y plus 15. If I distribute, then I have a negative 3/5 x minus, let's see, negative 3/5 times 10 is a negative 30/5. Remember, we want to leave them as fractions. Don't change them to decimals. There's no need to. And then I need to subtract 15 from both sides. And there's two different ways you could have done this. Let's see, I'm going to insert a blank screen so I have more room to write. So give me just a moment. Oh, it's not going to let me insert. Okay, so we've got y equals negative 3/5 x, and then negative 30/5 reduces to 6, so technically negative 30 over 5 is 6. So you have a negative 6 minus 15, which is a negative 21. And then my last step is to add the 3/5 x to the other side, so we should have 3/5 x plus y equals negative 21. All right, hopefully that works for you. If you have any questions, please ask your teacher. Write some questions down as to what steps you may not understand, and then go from there. All right, we're on the last two for the practice notes. For these two, they want us to write an equation in standard form of the line shown. Reminder that standard form is ax plus by equals c. Okay, so we need slope and we need y-intercept. So for looking at number 10, and there may be different ways you want to do it, I'm going to find the slope. Remember, it's going from left to right, and it's got to be rise to run. So I'm going up. Let's see, they're in 1, so I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm running 2. So my slope is 6 divided by 2, which is 3. Now I'm going to use the point slope form to get my y-intercept and slope-intercept form. So y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. And I've got y minus, I'm going to pick this coordinate. So we got negative 2, 3, so my y sub 1 is 3. My slope we said was 3. And then x minus a negative 2 is going to give us a positive 2. So be careful of that. I'm not showing the whole thing, I'm saying it. So if you need to add yourself a note, add yourself a note. I'm going to use the distributive property. So we have y minus 3 equals 3x plus 6. And you got to ask yourself, what step do you want to do next? And you have choices. What I'm going to do is go ahead and add 3 to both sides. So that's going to cancel that out. And now I have y equals 3x plus 9. Now, many of you may want to leave it like that, but the instructions say to write it in standard form, excuse me. So that means the x needs to be on the left. So your final answer is negative 3x plus y equals 9. Okay, so go ahead and pause this video, see if you can answer number 11, and then check with me and see if you're on the right track. All right, I'm going to find slope for number 11 first. I'm going left to right. I'm going to rise and then I'm going to run. I went up 1, 2, 3, and I ran to the right 2. So my slope is going to be 3 halves, or 3 to 2. I've got a point. I've got the slope, so I'm going to use my point slope form. And I'm going to do, let's do the positive coordinate. Let's do 6, 1. So if I use 6, 1, here's my x sub 1, there's my y sub 1. So I'm going to do y minus 1 equals the slope times x minus 6. Again, don't worry about the fractions. You can always use a calculator if you're not comfortable with multiplying fractions yet. So distributive property, we have y minus 1 equals 3 halves x, and then 3 halves times negative 6 is going to give you a negative 9. Again, you can use the calculator if you're not sure, but you don't need to guess. And then I'm going to, but you can guess. Hopefully you can guess by now. I'm going to add 1 to both sides. And we have y equals 3 halves x minus 8. And don't leave it in that form. We want it in standard form, which means the x is on the left. So I'm going to subtract 3 halves x from both sides. So it's going to give me a negative 3 halves x plus y equals negative 8. All right, hopefully you're on the right track. A lot of this is review. It's just putting it in standard form, so it's going from what I have in blue to the black written part. So you've been doing slope-intercept form this whole time, and now we're asking you to change it to standard. Again, if you have any questions, please take a moment, write them down in your notes, and ask your teacher as you're listening to this video. Hope it helps, and you have a good day.